Can you sense it? That gentle shift in the air, that soft stirring deep in your chest? It's not your imagination. At this very moment, something divine is awakening in your life. A message, prophetic and intentional, has been sent from above. A whisper from the angels. And it found you, not by accident, not because of effort, but because of purpose. Your soul already knows, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. You've traveled through silent seasons, and even in crowded places, there's been an emptiness echoing within. We, the messengers of light, have heard the voice of your silence, the cries that never made a sound, yet thundered in your spirit. That's why we're closer now than ever before. Because your appointed time is here. Heaven moves without flaw. Nothing escapes the gaze of the eternal. While you felt abandoned, divine forces were surrounding you. Every step, every tear, every lonely night seen. Not one moment forgotten. And now, what once felt like delay will make sense. Because the reason is about to be revealed. You weren't born just to make it through life. You were destined to thrive. Not only in material blessings, but in purpose, joy, and divine intimacy. There is a greatness planted inside you, and our mission is to remind you until you rise boldly into everything you were created for. There's a divine mark on you that no one can erase. That's why the storms came. They weren't coincidences, they were attacks. The enemy tried to dim your light before it had a chance to shine. But he failed, because what is authored by God cannot be undone. And no one can cancel what heaven has written. You'll watch walls turn into doors. Divine alignments will come into your life at just the right moment. People who once overlooked you will start to notice, not for approval, but because the glow within you is impossible to ignore. And as it radiates, the spiritual world responds. Don't be afraid to take the next step. A divine road is unfolding, steady and sure. You are not off course. You've been in preparation. Those who wait with quiet trust are always the first to hear the sound of promise approaching. And you're about to hear it loud and clear. Some won't grasp what's happening to you. That's okay. You don't need to explain. Those who didn't witness your pain don't need to understand your breakthrough. Just keep walking with integrity. The grace upon your life will speak for itself. Loud enough for the distant to see. You carry something sacred, a sensitivity that's rare. You perceive what eyes can't see. That's not weakness. It's heaven's signature on you. You've been entrusted with spiritual insight that others can't access. This is not just a trait, it's a calling. And it's about to be awakened with purpose. Don't look down on the small beginnings. What seems tiny today will be the answer to many tomorrow. God delights in using the unlikely. And you're about to be a divine surprise. A living testimony that heaven still moves among the earth. Dreams are coming. Pay close attention. They won't be ordinary. They'll carry messages, confirmations, and strategies. Write them down. Pray over them. These dreams are not random. They're heavenly downloads. Your connection to the divine is about to grow deeper. Gifts you thought were lost will return stronger than before. And more new gifts will begin to flow. They'll rise naturally, like a river full of life and light. Don't resist it. Embrace it. Heaven will guide every step of the way. What was stuck will start to move. Finances, ideas, people, everything that was held back will begin to align. But remember, true prosperity follows obedience. And even when you didn't understand, you stayed faithful. That's why the favor of heaven is now leaning toward you. Where you once searched for answers, you will now become one. People will come just to hear what flows from your spirit. Your voice will carry wisdom. Your pain will become healing for others. God wastes nothing. Every moment of your story is now a message of hope. You're not walking alone. An army of angels surrounds you. You may not see them, but they're guarding each step. Every whispered prayer, every hidden cry, all recorded, all heard. And now, heaven responds with power, direction, and undeniable peace. There will be days when things go quiet again. But don't mistake it for absence. It's divine stillness, preparation. Silence is its own kind of language. Learn to hear with your heart. Heaven speaks even when words are not spoken. And you'll learn to understand the soundless truth. Restoration is here. What was shattered will be mended. What was lost will be returned, more radiant than ever. You won't just see miracles, you'll be part of them. A walking reflection of the promises fulfilled. Keep your heart light. The new can't live in cluttered places. Release the burdens, the fears, the memories that no longer belong. What's coming is far greater than anything that has passed. You were chosen not for the ordinary but for the miraculous. Hold fast to this word. It doesn't come from feeling, but from spirit. Let your soul confirm it. If you feel peace, trust it. Peace is the voice of truth, and truth always leads. Walk in it. You are not alone. Heaven is with you. This is just the beginning. There is more to come. Stay close. Stay open. Because what's on the horizon is beyond even your boldest prayers. The heavens haven't just spoken, they're observing. Watching how your heart responds, how your soul opens in the presence of something sacred. Right now, your every heartbeat sends a ripple through eternity, because what is being unveiled carries eternal weight. You are part of a divine orchestration. Something far bigger than you imagined is quietly unfolding behind the scenes. And this message is your confirmation. Those bold, quiet thoughts you've been having lately, the ones that feel almost too big to be yours, they're not daydreams. They're divine seeds planted in the soil of your spirit. You're not imagining the change. It's happening. Purposefully. Intimately. Heaven doesn't whisper without reason. You've felt yourself pulling away from people, places, patterns. That isn't confusion, it's clarity. As your spirit rises, your surroundings must shift to meet your new vibration. Don't cling to what you're outgrowing. This isn't loss, it's elevation. Everything not aligned with your purpose will gently fall away. Even now, as these words reach you, angels are tending to your soul. They are stirring memories, awakening truths, activating sacred remembrance. You were never meant to blend in, you were born to awaken. An awakening often arrives with holy discomfort. That restlessness, it's your spirit remembering its calling. In your darkest nights, you've questioned your worth. You've asked, why me? Not realizing that question is the doorway only the chosen ever find. Those marked by heaven carry both weight and wonder. Your soul has never been ordinary, and neither is the road you walk. This path isn't asking for flawlessness. It asks for surrender. You don't have to feel ready by the world's standards. You just have to be willing to believe again, to move forward in trust, to say yes to the divine invitation that now sits before you. The signs have always been there, in dreams, in repeating numbers, in moments that felt strangely aligned. But this moment is your confirmation. Heaven does not repeat itself without purpose. The echo in your heart is eternity's voice pulling you forward. Your voice carries a sacred sound the world desperately needs. Whether it's expressed through speech, art, kindness, or stillness. Your presence awakens something divine in others. That's not arrogance, it's assignment. You were born to carry light into shadowed places, clothed in love and authority. Heaven isn't asking you to be flawless, only to be present. Listen closely beneath the noise of life. There's wisdom in your stillness, directions written into your peace. And as you quiet your mind, you'll begin to read the divine script written in your spirit. You may feel like you've fallen behind. But heaven's clock never ticks too fast or too slow. What felt like delay was actually divine choreography. Nothing has been wasted. You're right on time for something that can only be fulfilled through you, not just for you. Soon you'll be stunned by how seen you really are. Answers will show up in the most unlikely places. A phrase, a sign, a message, delivered just when you needed it most. This is how heaven operates. With precision, with gentleness, with a love that knows you deeply. There is a space, spiritual and physical, being prepared with you in mind. A place where your spirit will stretch, your gifts will flourish, and peace will anchor you. You won't need to strive for it. You'll be led there. And when you arrive, your soul will sigh in recognition. Where confusion once clouded your path, clarity will now shine. Your past isn't a prison. It's a pointer. Every wound, every detour, every tear has shaped you into the vessel now being filled with sacred oil. And that oil, it will overflow. It will heal. it will multiply. Heaven is not watching from afar, it walks with you. There is no shadow deep enough, no ache sharp enough, no question too messy for the love surrounding you. You are not falling apart. You are breaking through, and every piece of you is positioned for what's next. Start expecting the miraculous, not with anxiety, but with awe. Let your spirit dream wildly again. Let your hope outgrow your fears, because what's coming hasn't entered the eyes of man or the ears of mortals. It's being passed spirit to spirit, heart to heart. In this season, your inner voice becomes your compass. You're being led from the inside out. That sudden urge, that quiet pull. It's not random. It's divine instruction. Follow it without delay. The more you respond, the clearer the voice will become. You're being trained in holy awareness. Release the pressure of timelines. Let go of comparison. What's divinely yours can never be lost. Your path was custom designed, hand-woven by the eternal. And heaven will not allow you to miss what carries your name. Even now, the spiritual atmosphere around you is changing. Maybe you feel the chills, the tightness in your chest, or tears rising without cause. That's your spirit agreeing with truth. Don't resist it, lean in. The divine is speaking through your senses. You've been faithful with little, and now you're being trusted with more. This new chapter isn't only about what you receive, but what you release. You'll begin to pour from the overflow inside you. And in that giving, you'll find deeper fulfillment than ever before. You are ready even if you feel unsure. Ready to embrace the next layer of your divine calling. Ready to walk with clarity and boldness. Ready to rise. And as you do, heaven will keep speaking, not to confuse but to confirm. Yes, you were always meant for this. The divine doesn't need grand gestures. It responds to surrendered hearts. Your quietest prayers, spoken in sobs or in silence, roared in heaven louder than any anthem. None went unheard. In truth, your softest cries became the clearest signals, dispatching angels to move on your behalf. This awakening was timed with precision. Not a second early, not a second late. You've entered a sacred threshold, a moment where heaven's timeline intersects with yours. What once felt delayed is now gaining divine momentum. Your obedience has created a wave of acceleration. Don't overlook how far your soul has come. The weight you've carried wasn't wasted, it shaped you. While others saw pause, heaven saw preparation. Even in the stillness, there was movement. The soil that looked barren was being broken for a supernatural harvest. And now the harvest begins. You are stepping into a dimension where grace replaces striving. Doors will swing open without your knock. Provision will find you before the request leaves your lips. These are not random occurrences. They are sacred confirmations. What's being drawn to you now could never be earned by effort alone. You may feel unqualified, and that's precisely why you were chosen. Heaven delights in choosing the unexpected. Not the polished, but the pure. Not the flawless, but the faithful. Your authenticity is the message. And your unfiltered story is someone else's answered prayer. Angels are already positioning themselves for the days ahead. You'll notice sudden clarity, divine timing, and nudges that feel too precise to ignore. This is not fantasy, it's fulfillment. Pay close attention to patterns, names, numbers, and symbols that echo through your days. These are divine breadcrumbs. Expect divine disruptions. Plans will shift, paths will reroute, and conversations will take holy detours. Don't resist the redirection. Heaven is navigating you toward alignment. Often, what feels like delay is the fastest route when guided by the divine. You are entering a time where your weaknesses will become your weapons. The parts of you that once felt like burdens will become the birthplace of breakthrough. Your pain holds power now. And your scars? They are sacred testimonies ready to be seen and shared. Heaven is raising your standard not as a punishment but as preparation. You're being invited into deeper purity, greater clarity, and unshakable faith. Not to restrict but to ready you for a blessing so tailored, it demands a higher version of you. Let what's falling away, fall. Whether it's relationships, roles, or routines, trust the clearing. You're not being stripped, you're being sanctified. What's ahead requires more of your soul and less of your weight. You're being prepared to carry the future with grace. A sacred boldness is awakening in you. This isn't arrogance, it's divine remembrance. Your soul is recalling the purpose it agreed to before birth. That memory is unlocking courage. And you'll begin to move, speak, and show up with undeniable spiritual authority. As your spirit comes into alignment, your world will begin to shift. Elevated thoughts will create elevated environments. Healed hearts will attract healthier connections. True inner change always manifests externally. Watch what blooms around you as you transform within. There is prophetic fire rising within. Words will flow that bypass your own intellect. Wisdom will arrive unannounced. Insights will drop into your heart like divine downloads. Capture them. Act on them. These are not ideas, they are heavenly keys. The heavens are no longer distant. The veil has lifted. You'll begin to sense more, hear more, feel more. Nature, music, even strangers will carry messages tailored just for you. Stay open. You're not losing touch with reality. You're becoming awakened to a deeper one. You will be found by favor in the most unlikely places. Where you once felt forgotten, you'll now be elevated. Don't curse the hidden seasons. They were protection in disguise. They shielded you until the moment you were strong enough to be revealed. And now, you're being released. Stillness will become your secret weapon. In a chaotic world, your power will be rooted in peace. The more you abide, the less you'll need to strive. The battles you feared you'd have to fight will dissolve. Not by might, but by heaven's hand. There will be days when blessings overwhelm you. Don't doubt them, embrace them. You've sown faithfully, and now comes the joy. This isn't a sprinkle, it's a divine downpour. Let it flood your soul. Let it remind you that no sacrifice goes unnoticed in the realm of the Spirit. Miracles will begin to feel familiar, not because they've lost their power, but because your faith has matured. You've entered the rhythm of heaven, where the supernatural becomes your new normal. Stay alert. Expectation will always attract manifestation. You are no longer who you were, and that's divine design. Stop shrinking to fit identities you've already outgrown. You're not being redefined by the world, you're being realigned with heaven. Release the labels. You are now marked by promise, not by your past. What lives in you is rare, and that rarity is not a weight, it's a witness. Heaven placed it in you for a reason. Not all will understand it, but they're not meant to. You were never meant for the masses, you were meant for the mission. And the right ones will recognize it. Thank you for opening your heart to receive this sacred message. You didn't find it by accident. This was a divine encounter. The heavens celebrate every soul that listens with intention. And today, your spirit aligned with a purpose greater than anything you've imagined. You were chosen. This message was delivered with power, love, and eternal meaning. If something stirred within you, if you felt your soul respond, confirm it. Speak one of the most timeless declarations of trust. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Say it out loud or write it in the comments. Let this be your signal to heaven that the message has been received. We invite you to remain close to this sacred space. Become part of this growing family by subscribing to the channel and turning on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss another message crafted just for your journey. Each word, each revelation, is a piece of the divine path unfolding before you. This is only the beginning. Stay with us. The angels still have more to reveal.